Hi, I'm Tim Roble, and welcome to another episode of Adventure Athlete. Today is a very special day for me. We are 1 month out from the King of the Hammers, King of the Motos race that I'm racing. Last night I went to the press conference down at 4 Wheel Parts Wholesalers in Riverside, California. And Dave Cole put on a great show. Always a top-notch deal when you're dealing with King of the Hammers. Anyway, I got to talk on the live press release, and that sparked me maybe to do this video. So if you're interested, follow my my training, my rest, recovery, what I eat, how I'm eating, and how I'm training throughout this series. I'm going to do a video a day, and I'm going to talk about bike prep, gear selection, what I'm doing to train, and what I've done to get me here. So I guess I'll start with that. 2007, I retired with 22 years in the Air Force. I was a machinist welder, and had a fabrication shop running that was kind of small, 1,500 square feet, one car, one motorcycle at a time, had a couple employees. Retired, I upscaled the whole process to 5,000 square feet. 2 tables to build cars on, 2 lifts for motorcycles. We had parts, accessories. Long story short, that got robbed out in, about 11 months after we moved there. And Mexican nationals came in, stripped out the shop, and caught them about 18 days later with about maybe a quarter of my stuff left. Insurance paid out about half. So I was kind of in a depressed state. I basically kind of stayed in business for about another year, 2010-ish. And I pulled everything back home and put my tail between my legs and tried to reinvent myself. And that's when I kind of got on YouTube as a welding instructor for Longevity Welding. And that sparked me with my career for YouTube. You've seen my stuff with Everlast Welders. That was a really nice deal to work for. And I got back into fabrication and product development in the shop, and I've kind of been doing that ever since. But I didn't have the passion and the drive that I had for that before, so I was looking for something new. And I saw 2011, I've been a kind of a King of the Hammers guy, went out a couple times. Friends with Randy Slauson, Bomber Fabrication. And went out and rode with him. It got introduced to a lot of his friends out there, and that was nice. I've stayed friends with these people for the last 10, 11 years now. But that took me right up to 2011. I saw maybe 2010 in December-ish where they started advertising for a new race, invite only, inaugural King of the Motos. And if you don't know what King of the Hammers or King of the Motos is, it's the toughest off-road race in America. It deals with rocks and rocky canyons and up and over logs and sandy sections and sandy rock hills. It's, for myself, it's the hardest thing that I've ever done on a motorcycle. So it was invite only. They had Graham Jarvis and Cody Webb, Colton Haker, Max Gersten. Got a lot of top names, Destry Abbott. I'm forgetting a few of those, Max Eddy. Anyway, they had a lot of these top guys, Kurt Caselli, top guys racing this race, and they were taking 3 wild cards. They had 17 pros that they invited, and they're going to take 3 wild cards. So I kept hitting Dave Cole up, which is the director of a Hammer King Productions that puts on King of the Hammers. What an event. It's held out in Johnson Valley, California, real close to 29 Palms. And it's a premier event. Long story short, I emailed, I hit them up on social media. I just consistently went to get my invite, and I did. I worked on it. So now I was down to, I had a trials motorcycle and my son's KTM 450 XC, EXC, a dual sport, street legal bike, blinkers and everything on it. And that's what I actually used to race that inaugural race. Now, I made it about a third of the way, and realistically, I'll just say I kind of was worn out, tired. But instead of taking a break, I went back into the pits and called it, which a lot of guys did. I think we only had 3 or 4 finishers that first year, and it was a very tough race. Graham Jarvis won it, I think, followed by Cody Webb. As my arm is getting tired, I'll just go ahead and keep talking, but show you this beautiful spot that I'm in right now out here in Corona. Today's training session, while we're talking about that, is 50 miles, 49 to 51 miles. Came from San Bernardino on the Santa Ana River bike trail and came down here to Corona. I thought this would be a good quick stop, make a video, and let you guys know that I'm going to be doing a video a day if you want to follow this journey. I'm super stoked on this. I think I can share a lot of knowledge. Which I want to do is inspire, inform, and educate. Have a nice series, 31 days. The last 9 to 10 of those days are going to be spent on the lake bed. I'll do some GoPro footage, so you'll get to see my eye, what we go through and what we do. And then I will film race day, and there'll be 3 loops. There'll be a bronze loop. If you finish that in time, you get to go out on a silver loop. Do the silver loop, you finish that on time, you get to go out on the gold loop. Regardless if you're pro or amateur, if you finish that race in a payable position, I think they're paying out $7,500 to the winner, and I think that's going to be quite phenomenal. Then it goes down from there, like, you know, 6,500. It goes all the way down to 10th place they pay out. So if you're an amateur and you happen to get, you know, first place, which I don't think that can happen, we'll see. Basically, there's a difference between an amateur and a pro, and I'll talk about that right now because I'm talking about my schedule. We're 31 days out from the race. I leave for the lake bed in 23 days. I have to bill out 80 hours on a fabrication project that I'm doing, and I got to go spend a week at my dad's where I'll also train. So I got a lot of things on my plate: training, bike prep, eating correctly, rest, recovery. So there's a lot on my plate to do, and that's a big difference between a pro and an amateur, the guy that does it on the weekend. A pro's out riding his motorcycle right now. He probably has a stable between 2 and 5 motorcycles available for him to race and train on. I also have a 2-day trials event in that. So this weekend, I'm going Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'll be out at the Hammers doing some training. The following weekend, I'll be in Romaland doing a 2-day trials event. And then the following weekend after that, I leave to go to the Hammers. So there's a lot going on my plate, and that's the biggest difference. I'm not saying a pro doesn't have a lot on their plate, but as a professional, that's what they do. That is their job. That's their career: training, eating right, sleep, recovery, and going out and racing. That is their life. I would not trade my life for theirs. I came up with adventure.athlete to share this journey. And why I'm speaking of that, if you want to see what I'm doing for training, I'm on Strava as adventure.athlete. Also on Instagram, adventure.athlete. Pretty simple. Tim Roble on Facebook if you want to follow more closely. But a lot of what I'm posting is going to be on YouTube and Instagram daily, and then Facebook will have updates, moving kind of to a different platform there. Anyway, if you guys are interested with this, you have questions, comments, hit me up down below. And I'd love to start a conversation and share my knowledge and my journey on this great adventure. So thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. I'm Tim Roble, and I'll catch you here next time.